So
Awesome.
if anybody here, folks, if you've got a question or if you've got a topic, something you want to talk about, I think we've talked about cleansing and detoxifying, so I think we've shed light on that and the way to really approach it sensibly. We're not. So a lot of people think cleanse and detoxify is just all of a sudden after years and years of building up the toxins that they go on a fast, and then they break the fast with something they shouldn't have eaten, or maybe they break the fast with some junk food, and that's happened recently. And I've got a lady that did that, and I mean, she was so miserable. She said every bone in my body hurts, every muscle hurts, my whole body's aching, and because I came off this fast and I ate the wrong thing. And I helped her with charcoal, and we kind of sucked up all the poisons out of her body with charcoal tablets and so forth. And she's doing okay now. And
That's good.
yes, we've got to do things sensibly. If you're going to do fasting, I always say start out slowly. If you want to do fasting, fast 1 day a week. But never fast without water. Some people are fasting no water, no nothing the whole day. No. Hey, Doc, what do you think about fasting?
Well, fasting is great, but you have to drink adequate amounts of water.
Yes.
Now, sometimes I will go on a 2-day fast of drinking nothing but carrot juice and a little water, and that, number one, it heals the body. And it helps the gut, and it helps the digestive system, and it does many, many things. So you're getting some nutrients there, but you're not putting hard foods in there. So you're helping your digestive system, you're helping clean out your colon, and you get a lot of calcium, and you get a lot of minerals, and you get a lot of healing things in the carrot juice.
Oh, yeah. And
I'm real big on a carrot juice diet for a whole weekend. Okay, because that helps me straighten out my digestive system and everything, and I feel good. And then I drink carrot juice, a lot. And what I do, I have a little yellow cast to my skin. I go outside in the sunshine for about 30 minutes. I get a beautiful golden tan because the epithelial cells hold the keratin from the carrot, and it protects the skin against the rays. The other 50% of the keratin converts to vitamin A, which builds antibodies in the system to keep you from getting sick. And also, if you have an ulcer, I had a patient, been a patient for a long, long time, up in Arkansas, and he called me and he said, I got ulcers. So I told him to go buy him a Jackaway juicer, because that's the best one you can get that lasts a lifetime, and get them on Amazon.com or whatever, and just drink carrot juice, a pint of carrot juice every day for 6 weeks, and then go get scoped to see if you still have ulcers. He did. He said, I can't believe this, and Dr. couldn't believe it either. There wasn't even a sign of an ulcer, just from the carrot juice.
Wow, that's great.
And I've done that over the years, many, many years, for so many people, and it's amazing how it heals. The Indians on the reservation hundreds of years ago, they didn't have a pharmacy, they didn't have an ER, they didn't have a hospital to go to. They had their little medicine man that made up herbs and stuff to make them well. But if they had a wound, say on their leg or something, they couldn't go get stitches. So what they did, they cleaned it up. They took a carrot out of the ground and washed it, put it in a clean cloth, and smushed it with a rock and tied the squishy carrot onto their wound and wore it around. It didn't infect, and it healed right up.
Wow, that's a good old fashioned remedy right off the reservation.
That's right, and it worked for hundreds and hundreds of years for the Indians. So why shouldn't it work for somebody else? You know what I'm saying? But you drink it internally if you have ulcers, and it heals up scar tissue and everything.
There you go. Wow. That's a great old remedy. I'm glad you brought that up. Man,
oh, yeah.
Carrots, onions, All of these are all they're all things that can be used for healing. Bananas and banana leaves and so forth. There's all these uses of all these everyday foods that we eat that are potatoes, etc. All great old-fashioned recipes.
Well, God gives us everything we need.
Yes, He did. Yes,
That's
He did.
everything we need. We just got to know how to use it. And over the years, since the ALA has come in 105, 106 years ago, then they changed all of that. All these remedies don't work. You got to take this drug.
Mm-hmm.
And all the drug does is put Band-Aids on you. But they are some life-saving drugs, like I said before. But once you get yourself out of a hole, then get yourself on the natural diet and clean everything up and get everything balanced out, and you'll heal.
There you go. We went full circle on that. So,
yeah.
So Doc, let's see if we got anybody with any questions here today. Because if you do, we got Doc in the room here, and he's going to have to leave pretty soon. He's got other chores he has to do. And it was a funny thing, Doc. I'm listening to this song, and the name of the song is "The Cowboy Rides Away." Well, obviously, it's when you're in Texas, there's lots of cowboys.
Right.
And I just thought of everybody in Texas. Thought of you when I heard that song, and the cowboy rides away. It was a cool song. Anyway, I just thought I would mention that. That was why I said that. On the last time we got together, and the cowboy rides away, because that song has been playing around in my head ever since I heard it. Does that ever happen to you?
Oh yeah. I've been a cowboy all my life. I broke a lot of horses. I had a few horses break me too.
Oh.
So.
Yes.
Oh yeah. But anyway, life is good, but there's a lot of cowboys in Texas, that's for sure. And there's a lot of cowboys in Wyoming and New Mexico and Arizona, but Texas has been known for the cowboys for forever and ever and ever.
Oh, yeah. My daddy was a cowboy.
There you go.
He was from Montana, but he learned.
There you go.
He learned to repair cars back in the 30s. And so he became an auto mechanic, and that's how he raised a big family, 5 boys and 2 girls, was being an auto mechanic. But he started out a cowboy. He was a cowboy, and that's how he met Mom. I think they were in Billings, Montana. Fell in love, got married, and had a big family. But yes, sir.
Well, that's great.
Let's see if anybody has a question or a topic. Please press the star key on your telephone and ask your question or suggest a topic or something we should, Doc Miles and we should talk about. They're in area code 412. Your mic came open. Please, hello to you.
Shalom, shalom. This is Sister Barbara Mosley.
Yes, Sister Barbara. It's always a pleasure to hear from you. So what's going on with you today, my dear lady?
I wanted to say this powerful thing, and I really want to start it off because I believe that everyone who is in this conference can get something from this lesson especially. And I'm going to start off with Prophet Elijah. That prayer was powerful, and you asked him about a topic, and everything is in the blood. And we don't know everything that is in the blood. And I'm going to go with you, Dr. Truman, and you, Dr. Miles. All 3 ingredients is so powerful in the Most High. Chills just came all down my body. I have a family member on the conference that's suffering with cancer.
Oh, my.
And then I'm just like, I'm blown away. And they told him there's nothing they can do. He was on chemo, he was on radiation, and they told him there's nothing to do. And you all spoke on that. All praises to the Most High. I just want to say, this blood is so vital for us to understand of what we need to do to purify our blood before we get, because I have diabetes. The diabetes. We all got chronic illness, and I'm just so thankful to have you three in my life. It's been powerful for me, and that's all I want to say. All praise to the Most High.
God bless you, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Man, it's so powerful.
Sawada, thank you so much. Barb Mosley out there in Pennsylvania, she does a lot of work, working in charities and so forth and helping people. And I just love her. I just want to continue to thank her for being a part of our broadcast and joining us here. Thank you for joining us, Barbara.
Yeah, shalom. I'm blown away.
All right. Wow, Doc, isn't that something? Because that was it. And the right topic came up that really helped someone understand. A better understanding of how the body works and what we've got to do to clean up that bloodstream and detoxify it and get that nutrition right and so forth. That's it. And then make sure you've got a coach. If you can, make sure you're calling Doc Miles so that he can be your coach. Give me a call so I can be your coach. Because we do that. Let me give you Doc Miles' telephone number. His telephone number is 512-868-9867. That's Doc Miles there in Georgetown, Texas, and his telephone number is 512-868-67. That's 512-868-9867. Okay, and his email is his name, Doc Miles, DOCMILES. Doc Miles at Outlook.com. That's his email, Doc Miles at Outlook.com. So now you know how to reach him because he's a good helper to have on your team, just to keep you healthy. So let's get back to the room here because we're looking at Doc Miles' website. By the way, Doc Miles' website is up on the screen here, and we're looking at his telephone number and address and his picture and all kinds of information about him because we're looking at his website. The website, Doc Miles' website is theherbbdoctor.net. Theherbbdoctor.net is the website. And that's where you'll see all about him and all about many of the products that he has there in his clinic in Georgetown, Texas. And Doc, I know it's the top of the hour, and I know you've got other chores and obligations. So did you have anything else to share with us before you go, sir?
No, I just want to thank you for all of your help throughout the years, and God bless you and keep you healthy and strong and keep our minds sharp so we can help more people. So God bless you.
All right, brother. God bless you too. Thank you, Doc Miles out there in Georgetown, Texas. Thank you for joining us every Thursday. He almost here every time. Sometimes he can't make it, but most of the time he gives up a couple his time to come here and visit with us and help folks. So it's deeply appreciated. Now that leaves lines open for you if you have any questions or if you have a topic, something you want to talk about. Go ahead and open your microphone. Press your star key 2 times. We'll talk about what you want to talk about. Otherwise, I'm going to go over here and press the star key on 2 times over here for Prophet Elijah. And I'm going to ask him if he has if that answered his questions, and let's talk with the Prophet Elijah for a minute. Prophet Elijah, are you there, sir?
Yes, I'm here.
So, did that answer your question about cleaning the blood?
Oh, yes, you did. I'm thoroughly convinced that the blood is just like Ahia said it was. It has life in it, and we just write things in it. And just thankful for you and Dr. Miles who share information with us to put the right fuel inside of our body, so we don't have to have these diseases.
This is right, and it's nourishing the temple of the Holy Spirit, and it's keeping the faith, and doing and being a good steward of your body, and the reward is not to be sick to death like too many people are, and that's the reward, and you got to know it's real. You got to know a lot of people have found it, but there are a lot of people who are misled. They're told there is no cure. You must suffer to death, and they do it, and so our people perish for lack of knowledge. So we got to keep putting that knowledge out there. Keep encourage our loved ones to ask more questions and find out more about natural remedies. And if you it looked like a mic came open for a moment, then it went away again. But if you do have a question or a topic or a suggestion, please open your mic. That being said, Prophet Elijah, do you have any other topic or suggestion that we should talk about today?
No, I always have plenty of suggestions, but I just want to comment some more because we're talking about this temple that we have. You know, we repair our homes and buy new parts and have our automobiles repaired and give regular care to other machinery that we are using, but just so we must take care of our bodies, which is the temple, which you just mentioned, by supplying them with the natural elements and minerals to build and repair the parts that are constantly being worn out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it's getting in touch with that, and that's what we're doing here. We're getting in touch with how to keep your body healthy so you don't wind up suffering to death. It's not necessary. It's not what the Most High intended, and there are so many. There's so many things that we can do to comfort everyone, and the body then can heal itself, and that's and that is the Most High at doing what the Most High made this body to do. Repair itself. If you scratch yourself, the body is right away. The body's starting to try to heal that scratch. Well, it's the same thing all the way down into if you got cancer. The body would love to try to heal itself if it had the right tools. And that's what we need to learn are what tools are other people using and getting results with. That's what we talk about here on Discoveries in Health. And again, not to harp on it, but do, if you can, make a donation to keep this broadcast going, because I don't have sponsors. I don't have a rich uncle. So if you can make a donation, I appreciate that. And so that's over on herbalhealthreview.com, that yellow donate button. Whatever you can, if you can, I appreciate it. Well, it looks like then I'm on my own, so you don't have another topic or another suggestion. So I'm going to go pick another topic and a suggestion. I'm going to look at, we looked at the blood. We looked at detoxification. Go ahead. No.
Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna we're gonna leave Prophet Elijah for the moment. We're saying bye, Prophet Elijah. Stay with us.
Yes, sir. I'm right here.
Okay. All right. So I've muted his mic. Now he's got his privacy there, and everybody's mic is muted. And so now it's up to me, unless somebody opens their mic. If they open their mic, I will address whatever it is they want to talk about. But in the meantime, you know what I'm getting? So we talked about the liver, and we kind of touched on the kidney. But you know what's happening? It's happening all the time. People are coming to me with UTI, urinary tract infections, and then when they find out what to do, let's take a look at urinary tract infections, because they're happening all the time. Ladies are dealing with this, especially are coming to me with urinary tract infections. So let's talk about that. Let's get back over here and let's get out of this one and go back to make lifestyle changes, and we'll go out of that report. I'm back over here now. I've got a screen open, and that screen is the Make Lifestyle Changes report. So I'm going to go back into common conditions, because let's take a look at urinary tract infections, because it's so prevalent, and it's not necessary for these ladies to suffer. They've been calling me up with these UTIs because they're not that hard to get rid of. You just get, once you know what to do. So I've gone to herbalhealthreview.com. And once I'm on herbalhealthreview.com, I've clicked on common conditions, and I'm on my way down to the bottom. U is at the bottom. Okay, there it is. I'm clicking on urinary tract infections, UTIs, and we'll talk about it. Because the primary thing we need to do here is we need to work with antibiotics. And I don't mean drug antibiotics. I mean natural, safe, or herbal natural antibiotics. The FDA hates the fact that I say that there is an herbal antibiotic, because they've told me that if there is, it's a drug, and I can't say that. I've been told that. I've been told over the last 40 years, I've been intimidated, harassed, and and chased after by the FDA. They just do not like me, because they love drugs and they don't like natural remedies, and they hate Dr. Truman. I know that. They've made it clear. A urinary tract infection, UTI, is an infection in any part of the urinary system. Your kidneys, ureters, bladder, urethra. Most infections involve the lower urinary tract, the bladder, the urethra, and women are at greater risk. That's why I've got so many women coming to me. And last week was, again, another lady who came to me with a UTI. And women are at a greater risk of developing a UTI than men are. Infection limited to your bladder can be painful and annoying. However, serious consequences can occur if a UTI spreads to your kidneys. Antibiotics are typical treatment for UTI. However, you can reduce the steps, and reduce your chance of getting a UTI in the first place if you know about natural antibiotics. So let's take a look, because that's the first thing that's in this report, is another link to another report that is the natural antibiotics. Because with a natural antibiotic, you only want to use it 7 to 10 days. 7 days is usually just about right, because then it gets a natural antibiotic doesn't work well after 7 days. The body says no, I'm and if the infection is still going on, that's when you have to have multiple natural antibiotics, and that is how you overwhelm any UTI infection. And as long as you're using your health regimen includes calcium and magnesium, amino acids, enzymes, potassium. I like potassium with iodide, protects you against radiation. Potassium iodide is and seaweeds and so forth all protect you from radiation, and we need that because it's too late once the radiation levels are really showing, and people are showing the effects, and they're getting real sick. Then it's too late to start taking iodine from seaweed and potassium iodide. It's too late but if you take it before you've got too much radiation, it'll protect you from the excessive radiation. You want to know about iodine. So that's why another thing that is good for the kidneys, it's potassium, and your heart is a potassium sodium pump. So potassium is so needed in the body and highly regulated, and it's over-regulated like everything else the government does with natural remedies. Anyway, potassium. You've got to make sure these things: calcium, magnesium, amino acids, enzymes, and super green foods, and that multiple vitamin called Intramax, the super multiple vitamin that it's all certified organic, all derived from plant materials. That's Intramax, 415 ingredients, amazing, and it's all from plant extracts. So natural antibiotics. So we're going to click on that, and we know now that we're supposed to, when there's a UTI, got to make sure you're taking your calcium and magnesium. That means about 3 tablets of the calcium and magnesium at bedtime. The amino acids you take to supplement your diet, especially if you were hungry and you needed some kind of a snack, and you're going to snack on something that's probably not good for you. Eat some amino acids, because they're incredibly good for you, and that's what food breaks down to become, is an amino acid. So you eat some amino acid tablets, and you get a burst of energy and all those nutrients. And your body doesn't have to work for it. Your kidneys don't have to break down the food to become an amino acid. So calcium, magnesium, amino acids, enzymes to break down food, potassium iodide, super green foods, Intramax. Those are the kinds of things that should be in your diet for sure. If you're have a UTI infection, let us look at the natural antibiotic so that we can see, because I just said you don't want to take the same one for more than 7 days. And then you got people saying, hey, I tried this, I tried all the antibiotics from the doctor and nothing helped. And then I tried one herb and it helped, but then it didn't help after that. Is because you got to gang up on it. So what you do is you take the natural antibiotic that has echinacea, golden seal, golden poke root, and cayenne. And it's not golden seal leaf, it's golden seal root. So there's a typo I see there. But anyway, my report says leaf, and I know it's not leaf. I'm going to change that report. So anyway, so B is a natural antibiotic: echinacea root, golden seal root, poke root, and cayenne. And it is a powerful antibiotic, but you only want to take it for 7 days. And at the same time, you probably want to take something like grapefruit seed extract, because 3 to 4 drops in a glass of orange juice, that's the way to use it, because nothing else seems to hide the flavor or the acridness of the grapefruit seed extract. It's kind of acrid, but it's orange juice seems to hide it. So 2 to 4 ounces orange juice, and you do that 3 or 4 times a day, 3 or 4 drops in about 4 ounces of orange juice. Do it 3 or 4 times a day. It helps rid the body of bacterial and fungal and viral infections. So now we got 2 antibiotics, and you're only going to use them each one. You can use them both together for 7 days. Let's give you a 3rd antibiotic that you can use for 7 days. And then we'll discontinue. And if there's anything still going on after 7 days, then we would switch off and give you 3 different ones. So I gave you 2 so far. Ant B, the antibiotic, number 1018, echinacea root, golden seal root, poke root, cayenne. Then I gave you the 3 to 4 drops of grapefruit seed extract 3 to 4 times a day. Now you are really beating up on bacterial, viral, fungal infections. Let's see, one more thing you can do. Drink approximately 32 ounces of colloidal silver water throughout the day, sipping on it, holding all of these solutions in your mouth and swishing them around before you swallow them. Because when you swish the liquids around in your mouth, it goes directly into your bloodstream from your mouth, from the roof of your mouth, your cheeks, underneath your tongue. It's called sublingual, and it goes right into the bloodstream. Best way to take any kind of a liquid and turn it into a medicine, hold it in your mouth for 30 seconds to a minute so that it can absorb into the bloodstream. So now we've got 3. Colloidal silver water, which has been used for hundreds of years, not only medicinally, but as a preservative to keep water and milk fresh, because it prevents the growth of algae, bacteria, and other unwanted organisms. Colloidal silver water. And colloidal silver was used extensively as a natural antibiotic until the 1940s, when America was sold the big lie. Pharmaceutical industry has been around for, about 110 years, like Doc Miles says. But in the 1940s, they got their evil foot into the doors of America. They even got their own agency, their own governmental agency with badges and guns to tell you you must take their drugs. And that's what they did. And in 1940, it was over for natural remedies like colloidal silver water. They put it on the back shelf. Well, except for they still use a colloidal salve in every burn ward in the world, because it's the only thing you can cover a severely burned patient. You cover it with this colloidal silver salve, then it won't be infected, and that burned patient will survive. They still do that today in every burn ward in the world. They used to put in a newborn baby's eyes colloidal silver water, because it's the perfect thing to wash your eyes out with, put in your ears to get rid of an earache, get rid of any kind of an eye infection. Colloidal silver water, put it in your nose, it gets rid of a sinus infection. Put it in your mouth, it gets rid of teeth infections and gets rid of the pain of an abscessed tooth, and will shrink that abscess down until the abscess is gone. If you continue to hold it in your mouth, the pain will go away. One of the best things you can do if you have to go to the dentist is then come home or on the way, you have a little bottle of colloidal silver water and you rinse your mouth out with it. It gets rid of any kind of infectious things that they may have put in your mouth and so forth. If you've been to a dentist, it's great to rinse your mouth out with, because it is totally against bacteria, funguses, viruses, and infections. So it's a powerful, so they put it on the back shelf. And they said, well, we don't need you anymore in 1940. But it was still around, but it was just ignored. So it's a powerful, colloidal silver water is a powerful germicidal. Silver is an exceptional metal in that it is non-toxic. Now that's very important, because, mercury, lead, all these, they're all toxins that are toxic. These metals are toxic, but silver is non-toxic. And non-toxic, and so it's non-toxic to the human body. If you drank too much of it, if you overdid it, and you can overdo anything. You can drink so much water you can drown, but you can drink so much colloidal silver water that even this non-toxic metal can't get out the skin fast enough. So unless you're eating a lot of cilantro to mop up the heavy metals out of your body, or taking that heavy metal herbal formula that Brittany has out there at Health and Herbs, it's called heavy metal. Let's take a look at that, because that'll mop up the heavy metals. A lot of people come to me and ask, well, what's going to get rid of the heavy metals in my children that have been vaccinated and so forth? And so, the answer is always heavy metal detox or formula. We used to call it heavy metal detox, but the unfriendly government said, you can't say that. You can't use the word detox. That's verboten. It's just like Nazi Germany. That's what the FDA is like. They're still got the mentality of Nazi Germany. Heavy metal. Open the link. So that's it. It's called heavy metal. It used to be called heavy metal detox, but that was a no-no. That actually told you what it did. You can't, and that's not going to happen in America. It's just not going to happen. And they're not going to let you know that. They're going to do everything they can to obstruct your ability to get these natural remedies. Now, looking at what's in a heavy metal detox herbal formulation is chlorella algae, cilantro leaf, coriander seed, and garlic bulb, and turmeric root, and milk thistle seed extract, all to protect your liver, reduce inflammation, get rid of infections, and mop up all these heavy metals right out of the body, because that's what that heavy metal formula will do. That's the herbs in it. And let's get back to the report and looking at the natural, get back on track here. So what we were doing is showing you how to use multiple antibiotics, three different ones at a time for 7 days. So after you've used Ant B and grapefruit seed extract and colloidal silver water for 7 days, stop using it. And instead, start using Andrographis leaf. Andrographis leaf, product number 3023. 3023. Andrographis leaf is an herb that has been revered for treating infectious diseases and highly regarded also as having a preventative effect from many diseases due to its powerful immune strengthening benefits. So take 30 drops of that 3 times a day. And then would also then take 30 drops of olive leaf extract, because olive leaf extract is an herb that can fight almost any infection, bacterial, viral, fungal, parasites, olive leaf extract. And with any herb or substance you've never used before, start with a little bit, like 6 drops to 12 drops 3 times a day. It can be increased to a maximum dose of up to 30 and sometimes even 60 drops 3 times a day. But let's go with the low dose and walk into day by day, starting with 6 drops the first day, 12 drops the second day, 15 drops the third day, 30 drops the fourth day, something like that. Just walk into these things slowly so that you're not just coming in, like a brute. This is not brute force. We are gentle in our approach. So we're going to now start out, and we did that with the first 3 antibiotics. And here's the next 3: antigraphis leaf, olive leaf extract, and lots of garlic. You can use lots of garlic with both of them, but we're going to use one other super wonderful herb. It's Oregon grapefruit, which is a great treatment for sore throats and disorders of the stomach and intestines and urinary organs. And it even Oregon grapefruit helps with eczema, herpes, psoriasis, acne, and pimples. And the reason why it contains its primary constituents is berberine, which can stop bacteria dead in its tracks. Berberine in Oregon grapefruit. There's berberine in golden seal too. But now you're getting the berberine from a different source. See, so that's what's really, and that overwhelms. So now we got 3, and now after you're done taking the grapefruit, which, oh, by the way, it also can be used for infusions, making an herbal tea, and washing a wound, or you can put it in capsules. You can use it as a tincture. And so that's very valuable. Raw honey alone also is much more than just a natural sweetener. It's got all those enzymes in it. And raw honey, which has not been pasteurized, not been heated or filtered, can especially be useful as a medicinal antibiotic. It's great on a wound, and raw honey can be used as a preservative to soothe a sore throat. So some grapefruit extract and a little raw honey would be a perfect cough, sore throat syrup. If you want to use something a little more, put some elderflower, elderberries with it. Wow. Now you got a super powerful sore throat formula. But anyway, this raw honey can also treat minor cuts and scrapes and burns by applying it directly to the affected area. And it's even used as a healing facial mask for blemished, prone skin, because it has all these enzymes in it. Honey, raw honey, is a very valuable natural antibiotic. So we've given you grapefruit. We gave you olive leaf extract and antigraphis as the next 3. But along the way, you can always still be eating lots of raw garlic and taking lots of ginger root in your diet. All of these are going to be great to fight off bacteria, fungus, viruses, and keep you strong. So that's how you overwhelm a UTI. You go to the doctor, they're just going to string you out, and then and you're going to be miserable, and in most cases. But if you know how to do it, that's how to do it and that's how to use these natural antibiotics. There's even more. Moline is a natural antibiotic. Myrrh, frankincense. They gave that. That's the reason they gave myrrh to Yeshua, baby Jesus. That's right. He got myrrh. Because it's wash for wounds. It's antiseptic. It's antibiotic. It's antiviral. Myrrh. Yeah, it's fantastic. Myrrh and also boswellia, also called frankincense. Those are they're biblical. So, and the last one, it can be used. It's been used since the Middle Ages. Even Hippocrates used it and held it, as one of the great herbs. Sage. Sage among the ancients and throughout the Middle Ages, sage was held up in high esteem. Hippocrates held the position cur moratur homo que salvia crescit in horto. And what that means in Greek is, why should a man die while sage grows in his garden? The list of benefits of sage is long and impressive in its ability to heal the mouth, the teeth, the blood, the joints, the liver, the urine, the head, sinuses, throat, lungs, stomach. It's an amazing reputation. Sage has an amazing reputation against all.